Hello everybody, SlimKirby here. Welcome back to another weekend of Smash Hype Melee. Today, we're going back to Classic Mode and doing two more characters from the original Super Smash Bros. 64 roster. First up, we're going to have Link. Link versus Ness. Sword versus baseball bat. This is not going to go well for Ness. If this was real logic anyway, I mean, I suppose Ness does have Psi powers, so he could perhaps have the advantage here. And we'll find out. So Link, I really like Link in the Smash Bros. Universe. I don't think I really said that too much, but I love his universal use of tools in these games. For his B, he no longer has the boomerang, he has his bow and arrow. His boomerang gets moved to his side B, which, honestly, I think that's a good, I feel like his boomerangs are more, or not his boomerang, his bow and arrow is more of a staple weapon for him than the boomerang is. He still has his bombs as his down special, and he still has his spin slash for his up special. And of course he has the hook shot for his throw, which I think is pretty good. For some reason, it's not letting me grab people with a hook shot sometimes. I don't know. It's weird because the Z button also kind of acts like a shield button, too, so sometimes you can accidentally get moved to that button instead. But yeah, I think Link's pretty cool. I think the universal opinion, though, is that Link kind of sucks in Melee, which I can see why. I mean, he is very versatile with his weapons, but I don't know, there's always seemed to be a bit of a delay with Link. He's also pretty heavy, too, so he's not exactly speedy. I think a lot of people prefer the faster variant of Link that we'll be seeing later on in the playthrough. But I like Link. I think he's a good character. It won't be a Smash Brothers game without Link, that's for sure. So, today I am going to be talking about Super Smash Bros. Melee as a whole. Kind of my experience with the game, and you know, why I like this game so much. Funnily enough, this game is not my favorite Smash Brothers game. It's probably my least favorite, if anything. But I have to admit, though, when this game came out, it was definitely my favorite game for a while. I don't know why. I think it was just because it was a new Smash Brothers game, and Melee, I think, was the well, aside from the first game anyway, it was the biggest surprise because, like I said before, it came out very close to the original release of the Nintendo Gamecube, so it was definitely one of the staple titles of the Gamecube. And I didn't think a lot of people were actually expecting this game to come out as soon as it did. The original Smash Bros. Came out in '99, Melee came out in 2001. That's like the shortest amount of time in between two Smash Brothers games, I'm pretty sure, because Brawl came out in 2008, which was 7 years in between, and with 2014 release of Smash 4, that's 6 years, so yeah, 2 years is definitely the shortest time, and I feel like Melee actually implemented the most changes from Smash Brothers game to Smash Brothers game. A lot more characters, a lot more unique characters. There were a lot of clones, but I think that the were definitely more unique additions than non-unique additions. And, you know, it introduced a lot of modes, event matches, the adventure mode, home run contest, all that kind of stuff. So it definitely, I think, was the biggest upgrade, I think. And I think that's why a lot of people see it as the best game in the series. And it's also, I think, the most dominant in the competitive scene as well. So, when I say Smash Bros. Melee is my least favorite game, I'm also willing to admit that it's the best game in the series just for what it did for the Smash Bros. Series in general. You know, it's not my favorite, but I can't overlook what the influence that this game has had. And I have to admit that there was a time when you know, I only played this game. This was the game that I played so much on my GameCube during that generation. And, you know, I can't ignore that. I'd be hypocritical not to ignore that. Or I would be hypocritical in ignoring that. It's just when I got Brawl, I love the mechanics of Brawl. I felt like, in terms of gameplay for me, I feel like Brawl was definitely the best. And going back to Melee after Brawl is really, really hard. And I honestly had an easier time adapting to the 64 version as opposed to the this version. So, you know, once Brawl came out, like I said before, I never really played Melee ever again. But, you know, that being said, I do love all the things that Melee implemented. It's a lot of fun. It's a really, really great game. Definitely one of my favorites for sure. In terms of my favorite GameCube games at the end of the GameCube's lifespan, it would definitely be in the top 5, maybe even top 3. But, number 1 belongs to Tales of Symphonia. That's my favorite GameCube game. For sure. I'd give this either a 2, 3, 4 if I'm not being generous. But yeah, I just love what this game did for the Smash Brothers series. I felt like it was very, very, very influential, and I don't think anyone can ignore that. Whether you hate the mechanics or not, you know, it was influential. You can't deny that. Also, I really like this stage, by the way. I love the Fountain of Dreams. I wish they would have brought this stage back in Brawl as opposed to Green Greens. Oh, sheesh. Oh, Green Shell. You're a jerk. Link, you're going to have to learn how to get used to Green Shells since you're going to be in Mario Kart at some point. So I might as well teach you now. Okay, race to the finish. Making some pretty good time here. I don't think this video will be as long as the first classic video I did. Classic mode usually takes about 10 minutes, I think. I think 10 minutes is a pretty good estimate of time. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it all the way to the end, though. Link is pretty slow, I hate to say. And yeah, I still need to travel up that top path. Oh, dang it. Okay, I think I'll be able to make it, probably not to the very end, but to that one door in the red room, I think I can make it to. Actually, no, better not risk it. I probably could have made it, though. I just wanted to play it safe and get that just in case. Okay, Link versus Yoshi. Come on, Yoshi. You're green, although you're metal in this game, or in this mode. So yeah, as usual, for those who want to discuss Melee and their experiences with it, feel free to go in the comments section and do that. Last thing I could do, I guess I could talk about the story how I got Melee. And it's actually kind of the story of how I got my GameCube, too. Because the Nintendo GameCube was coming out, and I wasn't sure if I was that crazy about getting it yet, because I really loved the 64. I had plenty of games on the 64, and a lot of games I weren't done with either. I think I had got Majora's Mask, and Banjo-Tooie, and all those other late N64 titles, so like I was good to go for a while, but then Melee is what really caught my attention, actually. So when I saw this game was coming, I was like, oh my god, I need to get a GameCube now. But I hadn't started saving up. I did not save up at all, and as a result, I didn't have the money for it, and I didn't want to wait until Christmas to actually get the system either. So like I was actually kind of sad, because all my friends were going to get it, and they were already giving me a hard time about not being able to get the system at launch, because everyone was like, yeah, I'm going to go get the system when it releases. I'm awesome. I have all the money in the world, blah, 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 blah. And I was just, it honestly just made me sad for a while. So I talked to my parents about it, said that I really, really wanted this system, and I would do anything for it, and I spent like the next several months doing so many chores. Like, kids always have that moment where there's something they really, really want, and as a result they start doing more work around the house and stuff like that. That was definitely my moment right there, and I worked so hard, did so many chores. I actually went around the neighborhood and helped some of my neighbors just to get some extra cash as well. And before I knew it, it was like around the time the Gamecube released, and I had enough money, so I got a bundle online. It contained, it was a very weird bundle. It contained Luigi's Mansion, Star Wars Rogue Squadron 2, and Wave Race Blue Storm. 3 games I wasn't that really crazy about. I was like, I'll just use Luigi's Mansion and hold that over until Brawl comes out. Or not Brawl, Melee, my bad. So, I got that bundle, and then my parents promised me that when Smash Bros. Came out, they'd go and buy it for me, and sure enough, they did. On the day of release, I had it in my possession, and I was actually the first one that had Melee of my friends, so all those people that gave me a hard time about having the GameCube that I didn't have yet, I shoved it in their faces when I got Melee, because no one had Melee. I knew all the new characters that were in the game before they did. Like, when I said that Ganondorf was a character in Melee, they were like, no he's not, you're lying. And I was like, oh yeah, well, I'm having a birthday party soon, so come on over, I can prove you wrong. And sure enough, I did. So it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun proving them wrong, actually. Okay, come on. I'm surprised Crazy Hand didn't show up, but I'm kind of glad he didn't either, because this way I was able to beat them without using any of my continues. Okay, well that was Link. That took about 12 minutes. Should take about 12 minutes for the next character I'm going to use too, so taking some good time here. And there's the Link trophy. You're going to see I'm going to have the Ice Climbers trophy too. In between this recording and the last recording, I beat Classic Mode with Ice Climbers, and I beat Adventure Mode with Mario and Donkey Kong, so I think in between every weekend recording I'll go back and, rebeat those stages with those characters, just to make it go a little faster. Oh, Link, you're such a pretty boy. I don't think you're pretty, but you are a pretty boy, as a lot of people would say.